Hey everyone, welcome back to Podcast Demastered. Guys, we are finally here. We have finally made it. We've done a year of episodes, and today we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary. And so, just in case you guys don't know who we are, I'm Chelsea, your host for today.
I'm Wade.
And Ethan.
Yep.
They said it couldn't be done. They said we couldn't do 53 or 50. This is technically 53, so.
Yeah.
But,
yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
Hey,
but it's still that year mark. We've gone past
year
it
2,
now.
week
so.
1.
Yeah. Yes.
Exactly.
And so yes, we're here, the whole Podcast Demastered crew, and today's episode we're going to be answering your questions. Thank you for everybody who sent in questions for us, and we hope you will hang out with us right now, and hopefully you think I don't know.
Yeah,
I
hopefully
hope
we
we
don't let
answer
you
your
down
questions
with your
thoroughly.
answers. Yeah.
If we don't, harass us online and we'll respond immediately, we promise. Ethan will respond immediately.
I'm assuming everyone who sent in questions has like a certain expectation for our answers, so hopefully those are met, and we don't give an answer that's like, oh, that was lame. Why did I ask that question?
Yeah, and if you like our episodes like this and you want to continue sending us questions, whenever we get enough questions, again, we may do another one of these Q&A episodes. So feel free to send us questions or comments anytime. And of course, you can do that on our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Pod Demastered. You can also send us an email at demasteredpodcast@gmail.com. And so before we kind of get into these questions, I wanted to mention at the top of the show that it's been a year of our podcast, and we're deciding to make a couple changes just to let you guys know ahead of time with the podcast. We're not going away. We're just changing up our schedule. So we had been doing weekly episodes, but we're going to be doing every other week episodes, and those episodes will be releasing on Tuesdays. So it'll be every other week on Tuesdays.
And moving forward, Chelsea will be your new host. Boom.
We are all co-hosts, but yes.
Every week.
Every week.
Every week. No, every other week.
That's the
yes.
year 2 special. When we get to year 3, it'll be Wade. So that's a tease, folks. Hang in there.
Oh,
yes.
God.
Be ready. Be excited.
Enjoy the next year, folks.
Yes. So let's just kind of get down to our Q&A. So the first question is basically, how's it going? What has everybody been up to? Any cool games you've finished lately? Any movies you've watched? TV shows? Comics? Let's just talk about what we've been up to.
Wait, didn't you just read a comic over the weekend?
Oh my gosh, one whole comic. I sure did. I read a bunch of comics. That's what I do usually. I don't know, is there a specific one you want me to bring up, Ethan? Did we talk about a specific comic?
You said, or maybe it was late last week, you started like some, is it Dark Crisis? The Justice League? Like a big Justice League event or some shit?
So the DC's Dark Crisis event just started, and it starts off like the prelude to that leads up, where the entire Justice League gets like beamed away to like a multiversal place, and then they all die. And
it's a good way to start your event.
All right. Yeah. Kill all the heroes.
So they're all dead. So then John Kent, Superman's son, has to put together a new team to kind of like counter that, I suppose. So hopefully that ends up well. We'll see. I don't know yet. Looking forward to it though.
Also, the whole. Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was already like a finished.
No. The first issue just came out.
Oh, gotcha.
Week,
So this is like super new.
So it's brand new.
It's like, yeah, absolutely current, yeah. But otherwise, for me, it's usually just a bunch of Spider-Man and X-Men stuff. So
yeah.
Also,
that's
great
always
stuff.
a good time. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Chelsea, did you finish Control? I saw you play it a few times when I got it on the PlayStation.
Yes, I did actually finish it this week, and I did do the DLC. Actually, it was really exciting because when Control was one of the free plus games, I think last year or something, it included the DLC. It was the Ultimate Edition. So I was like, all right, I don't have to pay extra for that.
Just jump right back into it then.
Yep, so I got through all that. I did platinum the main game, so
That sounds about part of the course.
Yeah, right.
yeah, I couldn't resist. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. I loved a lot about, like, there was so much to love about the game. All the writing involved with all the, like, notes and everything, the recordings. It was a great experience. It was a much better experience than the game I literally just finished, like, at really early this morning.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I saw
Like
you.
2:30, I will admit, in the morning I finished this game.
Oh my god.
Oh, I played Ratchet and Clank. It
Well, I mean,
was
if you stayed up that late, you had to have some enjoyment. No one's staying up till 2:30
No.
in the morning doing something they hate.
Not usually.
No, my
anyway.
goal, like, I
Not
was so
without
close to the
substance
end.
abuse.
That's
Oh my God.
no, I was just, my goal was to finish this game and just power through it because I have plenty more games on my list, but
And it's
I
not
don't
good,
know, it
right?
just-
It's pretty overrated, right? The first one
Yeah,
we're talking
it-
about? Yeah.
yeah. Which technically I guess is like a re-release because it was on the PS4. It's like it came out in 2016. So it's kind
Yeah,
of went
yeah.
as a companion to the movie, which I totally forgot there
Oh,
was a movie.
the remake, the reboot, right?
Yeah.
I guess reboot.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. I don't know if
Yeah.
there was the continued
It's
storyline.
it's not. So there's like the first 3 games, and then they did collect those into like an HD remaster. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know when that was, but then when they made like the movie, they rebooted the entire series. So it's like it retells the first game, but it's not the first game. It's like when they meet and everything gets started and reintroduction
Yeah,
of characters. It's a whole other thing.
Okay.
Yeah. It just,
It's
it
the
wasn't my
silver
thing. I'm glad
timeline
I
for Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
yeah. It was just, I mean, I'm glad I played it. Glad I experienced part of that series that I know many people love. It just wasn't my thing, and
Yeah.
the writing wasn't very strong, and it might have just been because it was a reboot or something. It just,
And also,
I don't know, it just,
it's like you guys were saying, it leans super heavy, kind of like on the film. Like the film looks the exact same, and
Well, on that, it's not that it looks exact same, it's that they actually took scenes from the movie and just threw them in the game.
yeah.
Like, here's a cutscene. We'll just take that out of the movie and pop it into the game, and
that's
it's not
that's-
jarring at all, we promise.
That's the kind of the thing that I will respect about the series from Insomniac is the 2016 game and then the one that came out, I guess, last year. Like, from a fidelity standpoint, these games are like top notch. They look amazing. It's just literally everything about the game is just not fun, or it's just like overly generic and trite. And it's like, yeah, I've played this shit before, and there's nothing about it that propels it to like this, like, you know, top tier platformer that everyone puts it at.
yeah, it was definitely, it felt like a game that was made for children. Like, it's just kind of the vibe, like, all the jokes and stuff, it was definitely geared towards a younger audience, which is totally cool to have games like that, but it just didn't live
Also,
up to the expectations I had.
It's like incredibly easy to play. Like, it's almost not, there's no really, even playing it on the higher difficulty, it's still pretty handholdy, I guess, in a way, you know. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of platformers, even ones that are geared towards like family friendly audiences and kids, are still incredibly like difficult. Like Mario, it's always been like a pretty difficult game, so it's not like they don't have the excuse to be like, oh well, it's family friendly, it's supposed to be geared towards kids. I'm like, yeah, well, kids aren't dumb. Like most speedrunners are like 8 years old, you know. Like, we don't need to dumb down games for kids. Like, they have a better fucking hold on this stuff than, you know, older people.
Yeah, well, you know, at least some people enjoy the game. It just wasn't for me, so I'm ready to move on to something else. That's why I just wanted to get that done. I played it for like 2 days, so that's why I stayed up
it's really
late, because
short.
I was just getting through it.
Oh, yeah.
And you're probably not going to want to platinum it, just because I remember some of the trophies are like time trial kind of shit.
Yeah, it just, I didn't enjoy it enough to platinum it.
Yeah, even if it was just like a, you know, like, all right, I have to get the platinum just because you have some sort of like a need to do that. There's so many trophies on there that are just like bullshit to try and get.
Yeah. No, I only get a need for some games to feel like I need to platinum it, but no,
Yeah.
not every game. I will never be able to platinum every game I play. Some of those are just ridiculous trophies.
Yeah, it's still bother isn't the right word. It's still just like, man, you put a lot of time into Battlefront 2 to get that platinum. Like,
Yeah, that's
whoa, that's a lot.
yeah. That was just because I was like, I can do it. I'm gonna push myself to do it. It was insane. I will totally admit that was way too much time I spent into that game, but I'd say, oh, I definitely got my money's worth out of that game.
Yeah, and then some. Like Jesus. And the fact that most of like half those trophies are like the multiplayer component. You know what I mean? So like,
Yes.
and it's not, you're not like a big competitive multiplayer gamer, so just the fact that you had to put probably 100 hours just playing like online multiplayer to get those trophies is like
especially all
crazy.
the ships too, and like shooting down the hero ships and stuff like that. That's totally not my forte. Still not my forte, even though I got through all those trophies.
Yeah, I mean, shit, you should be like a pro player or whatever. You should be on the Battlefront 2 circuit, whatever that is.
Oh, you would think, but nope.
Starting your own league.
Gosh. Oh man. But what about you, Ethan? Played any games or watched any movies or anything?
I haven't watched any movies in like last week or so. I did finish Kentucky Route Zero. I can't really unpack that game right now because I'm still kind of contemplating what everything it's because it's a lot. It's not at all what I was expecting. So I'll have more on that probably in our end of the year review for that game.
Ooh,
Yeah,
tease.
it was good. I really liked it. It's definitely not for everyone because it's not really a game. It's literally just an interactive narrative. Like there's not puzzles. There's none of that shit. It's at most it's just like, oh, you get to choose like some dialogue, but for the most part it's basically just like an interactive story, right? So I can see it, and it was broken up into 5 chapters and I think 3 interludes that were released in a span of like 7 years. And then they finally they finally took it all and packed it together into one package and really did a re-release. But as that game was coming out, they were basically just releasing a chapter like every other year or whatever,
Oh, that'd be a crazy wait.
And like having played those chapters, I could not imagine playing a chapter and then waiting a year and getting chapter 2 because I'm glad I got to play it in very close, in succession basically. Because that game's a lot. The story's pretty complex and thought-provoking and weird as shit. It goes places. So if you haven't checked it out and you like just like good storytelling and you're not necessarily looking for a video game, then check it out.
Yeah, that one's on my wish list. Hopefully I can play it sometime. So.
And it's on Game Pass. That's where I played it. So if you have that, if not, it's it's like $10 on the store or whatever, so it's nothing crazy. Other than that, I've just been playing Halo Infinite. The season 2 just came out. Like sometime in May, so they're doing they got the new battle pass for that, and I'm plowing through it. I think I'm already 27 out of 100. And yeah, they got like new events and stuff, so it's good. They released like a battle royale mode, where it's like I think it's 12 or 16 players. They all get dropped into this massive map, and but you have lives. Like I think each player gets like 6 lives.
Oh.
And instead of like other battle royales where you're dropped onto a map with nothing and you just run around scavenge for weapons, everyone's dropped into the map with the same starting like gun, and it's like the shittiest gun in the game. It's just like a pistol or whatever. And as you kill players, you get points, and then you use those points to like upgrade to the next tier of weapon. So it's very skill based. So if you're not good, you're just gonna be running around with a pistol most likely until you're dead.
No, thank you.
And there's no like luck involved like other battle
boy.
royales where you like, you say you're playing Fortnite and you just fall on a location and there's a lightsaber and like the best machine gun in the game. Like even if you're a shitty player, like that definitely elevates you.
I need that, yes.
Yeah,
power,
the Halo Battle Royale does not have that at all. It's very much like you got to be good if you want to win. But you have lives. You have like I said, I think you have like 6 lives, and then after you've eliminated, like once a player is like completely eliminated from the match, they leave behind their AI core, and if someone snatches that, it gets them like a big boost in points to like buy new weapons or whatever. So it's interesting, it's different enough for most battle royales, but I fucking suck at battle royales, and I'm not that good at Halo. So I played it for the event, and then I was like, God, I suck at. And they left it on the playlist, so you can keep playing it if you want, because a lot of people like it. But holy shit, I'm horrible at it. Like, I don't even think I made it in like the top 10 once. So.
Well, at least you tried it out to see how it was.
Yeah, I had to try it out. Everyone was talking about it on Twitter or whatever, Halo fans and shit, so I had to try it out. But for the most part, I just play just standard Halo multiplayer and just plow through that battle pass. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing, and watching the new Kenobi show. I think they're like 4 episodes deep now. Watched all those. Mm-hmm. And then I'm almost done with Stranger Things, that new season. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything to talk about with either one of those because neither one of them are finished yet. So I'll just... I'm enjoying both,
we'll talk about
I guess.
That too, yeah,
I'm enjoying both, so I guess that's something. But story-wise, like, I don't know where either one's going right now, so... But they're good. So if you're a fan of Stranger Things, you're a fan of Star Wars, check it out. It's good shit.
Cool. Well, should we move on to our next question? This is a pretty big question that was asked. What made you want to start a podcast?
Yeah, guys,
It was
what made
all
you want?
Ethan.
Yeah, what made you want to start this? What made you want to start a podcast? Yeah, I want to hear you. I want to hear from you guys first.
I mean, I feel like it was kind of a thing that was in development for quite a few months before we started the podcast. Ethan was texting me about, I would love to talk about awesome things that we talk about all the time and just share that with people. And you're like, will you do a podcast with me? And I was like, I'll think about it.
Yeah, she blew me off for like a month. She's like, I don't know, man. These chat threads we have aren't that good. Like, I don't think people are gonna listen to this shit.
And I was just like,
I was like,
no,
don't worry about it. I'll rope in another friend of mine. You don't know him. He's cool. He's chill. He talks about all kinds of nerdy ass shit that you like. So we'll be good.
and I was just kidnapped into it. So
yeah, we just kind of shanghaied Wade.
Yeah, Ethan's just like, you're doing this, and I was like, okay, I guess so.
Yeah, so he didn't really have a choice. That's why he started it.
Here we are.
Yep, so that's how it kind of came to be. That's how I feel like it happened.
Yeah, well, so this podcast that I listened to for like 5 or 6 years, it was coming to an end. The guys were just, they were leaving the company they were doing it for, and they weren't, this podcast wasn't gonna exist anymore. It wasn't like all new people were coming in. It was just like, no, it's done. It's eliminated. And I was like, shit, man, that's like the only good gaming podcast there is that isn't from some like shill company like IGN or some shit like that. So when that left, I had like kind of a void. And I was like, well, I have nerdy ass friends. We talk about the same shit all the time. Why don't I'll just fill that void with my own podcast. And that's like, that was kind of one of the prongs of like the initial idea is like, well, a podcast that I liked that's about nothing, essentially, just entertainment and shit, put together by some friends, went away, so I'll just make my own.
And then share your love and hope other people enjoy it as well. Yeah.
So then I just had to find some friends and you know, con them into doing it with me. So.
Yep, that's exactly how that worked. Yep.
And here we are, yeah.
Yes, and here we are. We are having fun. Yes.
A year later.
Yes. Indeed.
You guys are like indentured servants.
No. We're all here of our own free will, and we're having a good time.
Yeah, that's what she has to say, folks. You can't see her face, but she's like holding up a sign right now.
I'm the host right now. I'm telling the truth. But yes, we're here.
That's our origin story. Waiting for the film deal.
Oh gosh. Well, in the meantime, while we're waiting for that film deal, how about let's talk about what are our favorite foods, or what is our singular favorite food?
Oh, mine's real easy.
Yeah, same. Mine's like probably the most cliche answer there is.
Oh, mine is too.
All right.
There we go. Pizza. Yep.
Are they the same?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Chocolate. I consider that a food. Yep.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
What is food? Is it just anything that's edible?
Yeah, I guess so, because it doesn't specify that it has to be a meal.
Yeah,
favorite meal. So it's just,
humans are edible, so we're food. So.
I mean,
Well,
if you're
mostly.
into cannibalism.
Well, I'm just saying, like a fucking dog could eat me. You know, it's food for him.
Yeah, well, but your favorite food is pizza, though, not dogs or you. So.
Yeah, not dogs or people.
Yep.
We'll save that in 10 years when the world ends. Then we'll reconsider those thoughts.
But pizza is definitely good food. I feel like I have lots of favorite foods, but
What's your least
chocolate's definitely
favorite?
the first thing.
What's your least favorite food? What's something that you just won't eat?
Seafood.
Wow, pretty broad. I was
Seconded.
expecting like
Seconded.
radish or something.
No, seafood.
An entire food group.
You said same, Wade?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't. I just can't. Like, I'll be
There's
brave
just
and
so
I'll
much
try it, but like, it
like
never
all
is.
seafood,
I
like even just like tuna and shit, like
Oh, yeah, no.
most,
Crab?
yeah.
shrimp.
No.
You don't like popcorn shrimp?
I
No.
used to eat that, but the only reason I would get through that would be like dunking it in ketchup, smothering it in ketchup, and just thinking it was chicken, but it was not the same thing. I just
For real.
See, before
I
before I was vegan, I wasn't a huge seafood person because growing up in the heartland, our seafood has been frozen on a truck for 6 months before it gets to the local Red Lobster, you know. So most of like fresh fish was like freshwater, you know, catfish and crappie and bluegill and stuff like that. And that stuff is fucking gross. Like, people complain about like I don't like seafood because it has a fishy taste. Like that's what fishy taste is, where it's just like no amount of ketchup or hot sauce or breading or pepper, whatever, is gonna fix the flavor of like freshwater fish. I fucking so gross. But as I got older and started traveling to the coast and having seafood, like literally you like order it and some dude off the dock like is catching it for you like fresh. It totally changed my whole outlook on seafood. And there towards the end, before I went vegan, like seafood was like one of my favorite things if I was on the coast. Like, it was really fucking good. And I was really big into sushi, so
yeah, I can't do that. I just, no matter where I've had seafood, it's just not my thing at all. I just don't like.
is it like a texture thing? Or just
the taste, the smell, texture, everything.
Yeah, it's the taste and the smell for me. Like,
I can see the smell, because even if you're getting like, if you're, you know, getting it at a Long John Silver's or getting it off the boat in Boston, like the smell's fucking rancid. So
Yeah.
because like no matter what your meal smells like, you still smell the kitchen because like it's
Yes.
just full of, you know what I mean. And that's what is, yeah, I get that. It's a pretty big turn off for sure.
Yeah. Well, Ethan, since you're vegan now, what about you? What is your least favorite food?
Meat. That's such a douchey answer.
Yeah, I set myself up for that. That is true.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, you guys should know I'm wearing a shirt right now that says "Meat is murder." You know. No, I'm not a fucking vegan. I'm not a douche like that. Least favorite food, baby bok choy.
specifically like baby
Yeah,
variety?
yeah. I like
Okay.
bok choy. It's baby bok choy I don't like. Bok choy is a little bit more like cabbage, and baby bok choy is more like, I guess, thinner. And usually when I have it, it's, you know, in like a ramen or something like that. So just having like a fucking leaf floating in my soup, and then like you slurp it up and it's just like all soggy and, you know, like papery. I'm just like, ugh. And it's
Well, how
like,
do you-
when you put it that way,
and it's kind of
doesn't
bitter.
sound appetizing.
Yeah, I'm just like, man, fuck this. Baby bok choy sucks.
How do you feel about baby bok ribs?
Dude, you get some bok choy ribs? Hell yeah, man.
You're here for that.
Yeah, slather that in honey-free barbecue sauce. We're good. We're good to go.
All
Yeah,
right, that's what we're having.
I've never liked baby bok choy, vegan or otherwise. I don't know, don't like it. So,
That's okay. Well, at
it's
least
kind of a
you
weird.
like
It's
the
kind of a
other
weird
bok
one.
choy, so.
And there's other stuff. There's other stuff like I don't like onions, but it's like prepared certain ways. You know, like I love like a good onion ring or an onion on a burger, or, you know, something like that. But I don't like onions in like soup or chili. Like, it's like a texture thing. Like soup, I want texture like a certain way, and if I get like a crunchy onion in there or something, it just fucks everything. My
Just
brain,
ruins it.
like the
Oh, yeah.
symmetry in my
Yeah, yeah.
brain melts. I'm just like, I can't eat this anymore.
Like, that's not okay. No.
Yeah, and same with like chili. Like everything's like supposed to be kind of soft, and then you get like a weird onion in there, and you're just like, okay, now I'm done with this. So, yeah, weird stuff like that. I don't know. What about you guys?
But other
just,
ones,
just the
I
seafood.
mean,
Just really just seafood. I can handle most other things, but beans. I'm not a big fan of beans,
Yeah,
and it's a
like all
texture thing.
beans.
it's a texture thing. I get you
Yeah,
on
basically, yeah.
that. I don't like black beans.
I like-
Taste and texture.
Like
Black beans are
mushiness,
so
you know.
good.
Or what's those really big bastards? Lima beans? Ugh, hell no.
Those are kind of.
Yeah, it's like eating a underdeveloped chicken egg or some shit. I ain't eating that. Gross.
I mean, like the town where I'm from, they have an entire like, or they used to. They don't really do it anymore. I don't think. Question mark. I don't know. But they have a festival based off of soybeans because that's like their biggest
Oh, yeah.
agriculture. They have the
Yeah.
soybean festival, the soybean parade. And I'm just like, and you always know like when they're in season because you just smell it. You just smell them. It's just like, ugh. I just,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah.
Shit, dude, that's
Those
like
do have
that's
a
like
smell.
30% of my diet now. It's just fucking
Soybeans?
soy. It's just soy in general. This shit's in everything for
I like
a
'em.
vegan or vegetarian. So it's a perfect. So
I mean, I guess other things that I don't eat. I mean, there's definitely. I probably could do a whole list, but one thing that does always pop into my mind is blood sausage.
oh.
It's so weird. It's
Have you
nasty.
had it, or is it just the name?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I have
'Cause the
had
name's
it when
gross,
I went
too.
to Spain. Yeah, no, when I went to Spain, like, oh my gosh, like 10 years ago. Yeah, I tried that there. I was staying with a Spanish family, and they were like, oh, enjoy some of this food. I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, this is creepy and disgusting. And then I later found out what I ate.
Yeah.
But, yeah. No, I mean, I do eat meat, but I am a very picky meat eater. I am very weird, so I really could just
Yeah,
be
I mean, you
completely
knocked out an
vegetarian.
entire like meat group.
I know.
You guys
yeah,
are not
no,
good
I'm.
enough.
Yeah,
Stay
no,
in the
chicken is
ocean.
my go-to in life. I love chicken. That's why I can never completely be a vegetarian. But, you know, I'll eat other things occasionally. But
Yeah. What about condiments? You guys have a least favorite condiment?
Relish.
Like everyone.
a lot of them.
Okay.
I only
okay.
like hot
Relish.
sauce and
Mayonnaise.
ketchup.
Hot sauce and ketchup are your two.
Yeah, those are
your-
like those are the only ones I like. Really, I don't like mustard or.
Hot take.
Relish.
Ketchup is probably my least favorite.
I know a lot of people don't like ketchup.
Yeah,
It's-
I can see that. Yeah.
I think ketchup's.
Ketchup is life.
I feel like ketchup and mayo for me. I could completely do without almost. I think the only thing I use ketchup for is literally like fries, and even then I'll sometimes use mustard or barbecue sauce. So like I don't really put ketchup on shit, and same with mayo, especially being a vegan and vegetarian, because I know they have vegan mayo out there, but that shit's $9 a jar. You think you're fucking crazy if you think I'm paying $9 for fucking
Some of
mayonnaise?
that stuff is so expensive. That's insane. Yeah.
So I'll do without. I'll stick to my mustard and hot sauce, and then barbecue sauce is like, you know, he's in there. You know, he's the third guy. You know, but yeah, ketchup and mayo, fuck that stuff.
No, I've never been a mustard fan, but mentioning barbecue sauce, are you guys more of like a sweet flavored barbecue, or like what do you look for in a barbecue sauce?
It just depends
Sweet.
on what it's going with.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes
The
sense.
sweet, yeah.
Well,
I like a bit of spice.
as
I
I've
don't know,
got,
because there's like more smoky and like meaty flavor. Yeah, there's so many. Yeah.
as I've gotten older, I've changed to more like mild, sweet barbecue sauce, because the other stuff, like something that's like really like a smoky flavor, like a hickory or something like that, or something that's kind of like got some spice to it, it upsets my acid reflux. So that's how you know I'm like a 78-year-old man. I'm making purchases on my barbecue sauce based on how much it's gonna give me, you know, how many Prilosec I gotta take before I can eat dinner. So yeah, that's old man Ethan yelling at the cloud right there. Hour. We're moving on.
We'll move along. Yes.
Why you gotta put so
Well,
many
our next-
seasonings in the barbecue sauce?
So true. Well, kind of still in the same realm of food, but kind of moving to drinks. We have a question. Now, we did briefly talk about this question before we started the episode, because it's something that I was very familiar with growing up. I did not write this question, so I'm just clarifying, but I just know a lot about this. So, what are your thoughts on the McDonald's orange drink? Amazing or overhyped? Now, those who may not know, this is like, it was the high C orange drink at McDonald's. I remember it from my childhood growing up, always getting that as like my go-to drink with my Happy Meal. And yeah, I mean, it was just never like soda. It was always like, get the high C orange. It's only available at McDonald's.
See, even before the show, I was talking to you guys. I saw this question come through, and I was like, "What in the fuck is a McDonald's orange drink? Is that something new? Is that some like Mountain Dew promotional they're doing? Like, what are you guys talking about?" So, I don't feel so bad now knowing that it was probably something in like the mid '90s or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's fine if I don't remember it.
No, I mean, it's definitely been beloved, since definitely like the mid 90s. At least that's when I remember it. But it's
And
also
we were a Burger King family too, so it's you know, let's let's go ahead and throw that out there too. We got big kids meals, all right. We didn't get Happy Meals, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, I got the orange drink, so I feel like I won that. But no, I mean, because the orange drink, I do remember hearing about this. So in 2017, McDonald's made headlines because they decided to get rid of the orange drink and replace it with what they thought was a better substitute. A new Sprite, the Tropic Berries flavored one.
Oh, that was gross.
Tropic berries.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, nobody wants that. And so,
Is that like clear Pepsi? Or is this one of those things that dies in history?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, and then it did die because a lot of people petitioned McDonald's and said, bring back High C Orange. And then they did actually eventually bring it back. And it still took them like a couple years because it was in 2017 that they removed it. And then in summer of 2021, they finally brought it back.
Wow.
At least according to my research.
They're like, guys, we can't bring it back. We have a contract with Country Time. We got to have their lemonade. All right, it's a 10-year deal. You guys are gonna have to wait. All right?
But the High C Orange was owned by Coca-Cola, which is, they are Coke products. So it's just kind of crazy they decided to be like, let's go on to Sprite with their lovely clear tropic berry.
Either that or like the Coke plant ran out of whatever ingredient made them orange. It was probably something that became an endangered species or plant or some shit. So like, all right, you know, we gotta find some other cheap solution to make this shit orange. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's what it is. That's the deep cover. Right. That's the deep cover of McDonald's. That's what that is.
Yeah. Well, so that's what I remember getting as a child. Now, Ethan, what was your go-to drink when you would go out to, I guess, Burger King then?
I mean, my grandfather, he always had so my one grandfather, he always had Pepsis in his fridge. His fridge, if there was a drink in there, it was either beer or Pepsi. And then my other grandfather, his fridge was always filled with like root beer, so those kind of just became like my inherent go-tos as like a child and growing up. Was either I was a Pepsi kid, or I would get root beer. So that was
Delicious.
yeah.
Root beer is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and plug your other show.
No.
Let's get that shameless plug in there for Root Beer on Tap. Check it out. Check it out on Instagram, everybody. Root Beer on Tap.
Yep, I love root beer. Root beers. But Wade, what other drinks did you drink as a child? Or would you go out and get to drink at like McDonald's?
It was usually it was the High Sierra was Coke. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Both those are great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I miss that High C. I know, you can go get it now, I think, but I'm 31, so I'm okay.
There's nothing wrong with getting a kid's meal now. I do sometimes and get that drink. It's also less food and it's cheaper. So.
Well, and also, do they still have toys? Or do they get rid of those because kids are eating them and shit like Tide Pods?
They still have toys.
Just kind of lame, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they're not good.
Yeah, I remember those 90s kids meals and big kids meals. Some of those toys, they're pretty awesome.
They're amazing.
Especially when they would do those Pokeballs. Wasn't that Burger King that did the Pokeballs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the gold things.
Yeah,
in
it had like a gold,
holy cow, yeah.
A plastic gold card and then like a plush or whatever. Yeah, dude, that was fucking cool. And I think McDonald's for a while was giving away Beanie Babies or some shit.
Yeah, they were the little mini ones.
Yeah,
they were amazing.
And that was crazy. People would go out there in droves just to get them.
Mm-hmm.
People would force McDonald's down just so they can get some Beanie Babies.
Man, those Beanie Babies, that was a craze.
Yeah. I just watched a documentary about that shit.
This is the one on HBO Max?
Yeah, what is it, Beanie Mania or whatever?
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that one.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. I watched it a couple months ago, but it's on my list for watch shows or whatever this year. So yeah, it was good. It was basically just following. There's 3 different moms. They were in the midst of the mania and shit to the point where they either became Uber collectors or they became the people that would buy it all up in droves and then sell it at a higher value or whatever. So, but yeah, there's a lot of nostalgia because you just think back on it and you're just wow, yeah, we were fucking crazy for those things for no reason.
Yep.
So
I still have quite a few of mine. They're stored away right now. Maybe
we have a couple. We have a couple
just,
for we have a couple for Atlas that he picked out from an old trash bag filled with them or whatever. So I live in a rental, guys. I can't store 100 fucking Beanie Babies. He'll pick out 2 and you guys keep the rest. So.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Beanie Babies and animals, our next question is actually, what is your favorite zoo animal? Just completely thrown out there, just left field.
This is a weird one.
I'm prepared. Penguins.
Okay, go for it.
Hands down, penguins.
Penguins.
I freaking love penguins.
Okay, another sneaky amazing thing about the penguin enclosure, at least at the St. Louis Zoo, which is the closest one for us, is when you go to the zoo, it's always in the summer, right? And it's always hot as shit. Go to that penguin enclosure, dude, you're just walking in a refrigerator. You just hang out there and you're just looking at these birds in suits waddle around.
Oh yeah,
and cool off. It's the best.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, the polar bear out there is sweating his ass off in the heat.
Oh my gosh.
These penguins, they get the good treatment.
Right.
Yeah, fuck that bear. There's only one of them. There's 400 penguins in here. We got to keep them calm.
Yeah. Okay, I think I have mine. I don't know. I like a lot of animals, so I like the fennec fox.
Oh, those are good ones, yeah.
With they're so tiny, the big ears, the tan
They're
colors.
They're always sleeping and shit too. At least every time I go to the zoo.
Yeah.
All the mammals just sleep. They're always in their huts or whatever. It's a bunch of lazy motherfuckers. Of course, I go at noon It's like the heat of the
Yeah, they're
day.
like, we're tired of humans.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
look
You
at
think
us.
this
We're just gonna
rhino's gonna
sleep.
walk around and entertain me when it's 100 fucking degrees out here? No. This dude's gonna be hanging out in the shade.
Oh. What about you, Ethan? Do you have a favorite zoo animal?
Oh man, I don't know. I always like going through the primate house. You know,
You feel right at home?
Yeah, because when they're active, you know, there's some entertainment going on usually. They pack them in, you know, they got like at least half dozen in each little glass house or whatever. I like the gorilla, but I also feel bad because it's always just one, maybe two, and they always just look like they're sitting out there just like contemplating their own like life. You know, they're just sitting there static on the side of a hill. Everyone's, you know, you got like 100 humans out there just staring at you, taking pictures. This dude's just like contemplating his existence. You know, just like this poor bastard. Like he doesn't want to be in here. So yeah, I don't know. I guess all the primates and gorilla monkeys and shit.
All right. Well, our next question is a little bit more into, now we're moving on from food and animals to music. So this one is, what movie soundtrack song gets you dancing and grooving? Only one song that you'll just like rock out to.
From the soundtrack.
Yes.
Shit, I don't know if I've ever danced and grooved in my life.
Unless the magic.
Yeah, unless you count just like a sway. You know, I'll sit there and I'll sway. I'll do the head bob or whatever. You know.
That counts.
I don't have any groove. I don't have any groove in me. Let's see.
Well, while you're thinking about it, I had to think a lot on this because I was like, because like if it was like video game soundtrack, like I could come up with something there, but I was like, man, like movie soundtrack stuff though, like the only thing I could come up with was the song "From Now On" from The Greatest Showman. Like the ending song, really just like. It's got such a great beat, and like the dance number like from like the scene is so infectious. Like it just makes you want to get up. You can't sit still with that one.
No, it's good.
Yeah,
I have.
Anyway.
well, that's why it was my answer. Okay.
Oh.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've
guess.
ever had an urge to move. Like it takes a lot to get me to move in general. So.
Oh man. Now, when I saw this question, what immediately came to mind for me was in college, I would hang out with my friends, and on Friday nights we would listen to like our we had like a mix of a bunch of Disney songs. And we would totally get up and dance.
College Friday night, like some Disney.
Yeah, that's my college experience, and it was great. We would do homework, listen to Disney music, we'd rock out. We would totally
do homework,
rock out to "I Just Can't Wait to Be King" from Lion King. So.
Oh God.
I had fun.
Hey,
good time.
You know that's all that matters. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Yep. And I'm sticking with that, and I'm happy to say that I will rock out to Disney music. So
I think
if
we need
people didn't already know.
I think we need a video for social. We need a dance video for social.
No, those videos should never make the light.
This is an
I know some people have
Chelsea.
those, and they should not share those.
We'll figure it out.
Tell me who those people are.
No, you will never know.
Get Amy in here. I got questions.
Well, she probably has the video, so don't ask her.
All right, I know who I'm talking to tomorrow. We'll get them, folks. Don't worry.
No. All right.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't listen to a lot of soundtracks, and the ones I do are just, you know, songs that I, you know, already had on like a playlist, or you know what I mean, like. But thinking our episode recently when we did just like the top 5 movie soundtracks. I'm going back through that list, and that Black Panther album from Kendrick, that last song on there that he did with The Weeknd, "Pray for Me."
Yeah, that's got some. That's got some movers on there. Yeah,
that's just a good song. I'm not getting up and dancing to it, but it's a good driving song. It's a good head bobbing song.
I was like, go bob your head. There you go.
I'll bob my head.
There's your
song.
dancing.
Yeah. I mean, that whole album's great, but that last song, like, it's a real banger. So yeah, I'll just use that. I'm sure there's other soundtracks that have other like hits, you know. So I don't have like a favorite.
All right. Looks like we have one video game question, so we'll ask that one quickly, and then maybe we'll take a quick break. So this one is just specifically for Wade. Are you ready for this? So,
yeah.
Yes.
I'm prepared.
Wade was specific. Yes. Okay. Wade was specifically asked, can you explain what Final Fantasy is in 10 words or less? I don't get it.
Okay, so I think about this a lot, but yes, I think I got it.
Wait,
Okay.
just Final Fantasy like one?
Just the series,
general.
like the whole.
Oh, okay.
Like,
The
what
whole
is
thing.
Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my
the
answer.
Final Fantasy.
The Final Fantasy. So my answer for this was disconnected stories of strength, magic, love, growing up, and chocobos. There you go.
I like that.
There you go.
Very nice.
All right, I'll do Kingdom Hearts.
Go to hell. Now that was
Friendship. Keyblades.
Keyblades.
Xehanort.
Xehanort.
Yeah.
Xehanort.
Yeah.
There's like,
Darkness,
what,
light.
7 of them?
Yeah.
Is there
All Xehanort.
is Riku? Is that a person?
Belts, zippers, plaid.
Yeah.
Plaid.
What else do you want in there?
Big shoes.
Big shoes,
Yeah.
chains,
Big shoes with normal feet or whatever.
darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Surely that was 10 words.
Yeah, we just read that straight from the Wikipedia. So
Yes. Well, I think we'll take a quick break and then we'll come back and we have a special question specifically for Ethan to kick us back off for our second half of our episode.
that's a tease.
So we'll be right back. All right, everybody. Okay, hold on. Just scratch that.
Nah, keep it. We're good. We're already in. We're in too deep.
No. Okay. All right, everybody, welcome back. Okay, so this is our special 1-year anniversary, our Q&A, and our next question up is specifically for Ethan. So, Ethan, what's your favorite lower budget film that doesn't get enough praise?
So when I was thinking about this, I don't have favorite films. There's just too many to like try and narrow down to favorites. You know what I mean? Or like trying to be like, oh, this is the favorite. This is like number one. Like I have, my thing is like I either like or I don't like a movie. That's about as far as as I get with like categorizing things. But when I was thinking about just like the lower budget aspect of it and something that when it came out, I don't remember a lot of discussion about it or fanfare, and it it definitely propelled this the career of the director for sure, but I just don't remember it being in like the public consciousness at all. And that film is Monsters by Gareth Edwards. It came out in 2010, and it's like a sci-fi kind of a horror but not really film. But essentially this guy is just like, there's a guy that's like a journalist who's sent into this like quarantine zone in Mexico to like find his boss's daughter and like escort her out, essentially, like kind of a rescue mission. Not like she's kidnapped or anything, she's just kind of there in this area and it's now quarantined, so she needs to get the fuck out. And as the film goes on, you realize it's quarantined because there's aliens there and the government's trying to like keep it hush hush. The reason the film is like so like the reason I really liked it is it was a budget of like a few $100,000, like between like 300 and 500,000, and it looks amazing. Like the effects works for the aliens, and it's smart too because they kind of he does a good job of like the horror aspect is it's more mysterious. Like if you catch it, it's just like a glimpse of them or whatever, you know, like a blink and you miss it kind of stuff to build tension, and then you finally get like the big reveal towards the end. But it's like really well done. The editing's really good, the pacing's really good, and also like Scoot McNairy, who was like the lead in it, that was like one of his like bigger roles, and then he started popping up in a bunch of other films. If you don't know the name Gareth Edwards, after he did this film, it caught the eyes of Warner Brothers, more specifically Legendary Pictures, and they hired him to do that Godzilla reboot that came out in like 2015 or 16 or something like that. And then after that, he went on to do Rogue One. So this film definitely like catapulted this man's career to doing like Godzilla, which is a huge, popular, you know, name brand figure, and then doing a Star Wars film. Like that's pretty fucking incredible. He's actually working on something right now. I can't remember what it is. I think it was just like talked about. But anyways, if you haven't seen it, it's a good film. Monsters. It's not some, I don't know, it's not like some thing to build a lot of hype around or anything. It's not like, oh wow, this is the best movie I've ever seen. But for a film that was shot to next to nothing with a bunch of nobodies and a directorial debut, like it was really good, especially for like the scope they were going for. So
That's really cool.
Yeah. Another one is it's a foreign film. I think it's Norwegian. It's called The Troll Hunter. And it came out.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it came out around the that found footage craze that lasted from like Blair Witch up until every like horror movie with like found footage, and you kind of don't really see that anymore. So it came out in like the high days of the found footage film, but it's actually like really good. It's just a fun movie.
It's just like
it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's almost like a mockumentary sort of thing.
It kind of feels like it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of more supposed to be like they frame it as like, you know, this is a true story. We find this guy and everything goes wrong, and it's kind of supposed to be like a horror, but it's more of like a mockumentary making fun of that type of found footage film. And like you're just following around this like crazy guy who supposedly works for the government, and his job is to essentially keep these trolls from escaping their like certain regions, so the real world doesn't know they exist. it's but like they go pretty hard with some of the effects and some of the trolls. Like some of the trolls are, you know, anywhere from like the size of like a bus to like skyscraper size. So but yeah, it's a good film, especially for as like low budget as it is. It's actually like really well done, kind of in the same vein as Monsters. Like they were punching up for sure on all of that stuff. So I'd say check both of those out. I don't know if they're streaming anywhere. I didn't look. So
But still, yeah, very cool. Very cool. So yeah, everybody should check those out. Okay, so looks like we're having some people giving some hot takes on some of these questions. So we're going to dive into... Okay, so here we go. Ethan's ready to dish it out. So our next question is, Agent Carter is the best Marvel TV show. Tell me your thoughts on this, or your favorite.
All right, so. I haven't seen Agent Carter, so I'm just fucking with you. But so it's not my favorite Marvel TV show because I haven't seen it. It may be amazing. I don't know. Didn't it get canceled?
Yes, after
usually amazing shows don't get canceled, so I'll just say that.
Well, a lot of the Netflix Marvel shows got canceled, so
yeah, they weren't amazing either.
Oh, okay. Well, what is your favorite Marvel TV show then? Oh boy.
I don't know.
Wow.
So it would either be, I guess, Loki, or the first 2 seasons of Daredevil. And everything else has been fine to, passable, I guess, that I've seen. There's still a lot of Marvel shit I haven't watched. I didn't watch Hawkeye, and wasn't there one that came out after that? Or no, I'm thinking of the animated one. Sorry.
Oh, What If?
Oh, what if?
What If? Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that. I didn't watch any of the Hulu stuff. I didn't watch any of the ABC Family stuff. So I watched all the Netflix ones. So yeah.
Well, I liked the Agent Carter show, but just because it was more of the same, as far as like where she came from and like what she did and stuff. So like if you liked Captain America, I feel like the first Captain America, like you would like the show because it was kind of what it was. And I liked it a lot. Like Haley Atwell, like playing Peggy, it's just like the best. She's like the best part of the whole thing. So, I mean, obviously, or they wouldn't have given her own show. So,
Very true.
Yeah.
Well, is that your favorite, or you just agree that it is a pretty good
Oh,
show?
I'm just agreeing that it's
Okay.
a really good show. Yeah. I don't know if I could have a favorite though. I have a lot that I like for different reasons, but to name like one as the favorite, I don't think I can do that. I can't hurt them like that.
Okay. They won't hear it. It's okay.
Don't worry,
No, they will.
I can.
Somebody will tell them, so I can't. I gotta
No.
keep it.
Yeah.
Keep it.
No, I agree. I did enjoy Agent Carter. I definitely liked the first season a lot more than the second, but
Yeah.
I think they did a good job picking Haley Atwell and giving her more time to shine, and I think we might be seeing more of her in the future, so I hope we get something
It's a
from her.
possibility, yeah.
Yeah, she's in Mission Impossible.
Well, yes, just in Marvel stuff, yes.
Oh, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Haley
Yes.
Atwell is in the
Yes.
next Mission Impossible.
Yes. Well, if I had to pick a Marvel show that was my favorite, I think overall it would honestly be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because of like overall I think the quality was good for as long as the show was. I think they did a really good job developing all the characters, and the characters helped carry the show, and you just grow with them, and I don't know, I experienced all kinds of emotions watching that show, and it was a good time. Now, there was definitely obviously cheesy moments, and it wasn't always up to par with the highest special effects, but it was pretty darn good for being on ABC. And what they did with that show and how long it lasted. And honestly, that show was kind of the stepping point for every other Marvel show we've seen since. It just kind of kicked it off.
No.
But I mean,
Nah.
no, but it was also groundbreaking in a sense because, like, they had very well written, strong female characters in that show, and especially female characters that were people of color. To have them in leading roles like that, it was a big deal. And like that also is just in a sense a stepping point for where Marvel is trying to go now with some other stuff. So
Yeah, speaking of that, have either one of you guys watched that first episode of Miss Marvel or whatever?
Oh yeah,
Talking
Not
about
yet.
how awesome it is.
it's really good. If you like Scott Pilgrim,
Yeah.
like this episode has Scott Pilgrim written all over it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
so I heard a lot of good things about it.
And it
Well,
it
for-
yeah,
like
I'm looking
it,
forward to it.
First episode or whatever.
it fits into like the first like arc in her very first comic she had. Like it is spot on. Like it's hitting all the tones.
Yeah.
Because her thing is very character driven. It's not like huge superhero gonna go fight the bad guys in space. That's not Miss Marvel. She's like 15, 16,
Yeah.
and coming into powers, but also with a very strict religious family life, like there's a lot to her character that's not like, okay, I'll see you later, I'm gonna go fight the bad guys. And they're hitting all of those things really well in the show so far. That's just coming from somebody who like read the comic and stuff. And if few little things are changed to fit better within the MCU compared to the comic universe, but like it's fine. Everything is great.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Cool, man. That's
Yeah.
kind of that's kind of what I heard. It's almost like everyone's talking about how what's the lead actress? Her
Yeah,
name's
I don't
escaping me
remember her
right now.
name either.
I think it's Iman Vellani.
That
or
sounds
something
right.
Like that.
That's
Yeah.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, everyone's talking about how like she's like a fucking superstar in the making. Like she's
Oh
like,
no,
owning
she
the
is.
show.
Holy crap!
Oh, that's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It
but-
just,
well,
it just looks like a fun show, so I'm looking forward
she's
to
also
checking it
just
out.
like Kamala, where she's a huge like Marvel stan.
Yeah.
Like her herself, she's
Yeah,
a
the
huge
actress.
fangirl,
Yeah.
but like Kamala is like within the universe is also like a
Yeah.
huge, like she has like encyclopedic knowledge about all the superheroes and all of their crazy antics, and it really throws all of them off a lot. They're like, "Whoa, calm down."
Yeah. We talked about this I think offline a while back when I was playing that. I told you I was playing that Marvel's Avengers game because I could get 500 reward points from it or whatever the fuck. And then I was like, oh wait, Kamala Khan's kind of awesome, so I'm gonna keep playing.
She's
this. Like,
she's so amazing.
yeah.
I I don't know where her show is going because like where the first episodes ends is kind of like right when she gets her powers. But I don't know where the story's going. Like,
yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's good though.
Yeah,
especially if
it's fine.
you know, if someone like you that doesn't know, then that's that's good.
So yeah, should be hopefully a good, enjoyable experience. Surprises along the way. Yeah. Well, on the topic of favorite TV shows, our next question is: what are your top 5 TV shows of all time?
Oh boy,
this is difficult.
That is a
y'all.
that is
why
a
did you
tough
do this?
question. I know.
Do I have to put
Yeah.
them in any kind of order?
No, you can just list them off. I don't think we need to
perfect.
order. That'd be too hard.
yeah, mine's hard on this too because there's like, I have TV shows that I've watched and I thought were like incredible, you know, some of the best like storytelling or television ever, and then I'll never watch it again, and I know that. And then I have shows that I have seen 40 times in their entirety. So you know what I mean? So and they may not be like the same. The show that I've seen a dozen times, it may not be like the same quality as the show that I really liked, but for some reason I don't want, you know what I mean? Like a good example is like I really liked Game of Thrones, regardless of the rushed finale and the kind of hacky writing because they fucking ran out of material or whatever.
Yes.
But that show is like revolutionary, and it's like some of the best production values you'll ever see on like prestige television. I will never watch it again, ever. You know what I mean? And I know that, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, and then there's shows like The Simpsons that I watch the first 10 seasons all the time, over and over. You know, to the point where I can like quote them. But like I also know that like everything past that is, you know, there's like 40 seasons or whatever, and most of those I've never even seen or don't care to see. You know, I just want the first 10 for whatever reason. So this is like a tough fucking question. You know, it's like, what are the shows that I rewatch the most? You know what I mean? Because I have like Simpsons and The Office, Futurama, and Rick and Morty, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like I've probably seen those shows the most in their entirety.
They're very rewatchable shows.
Yeah, a runner-up would be like Parks and Rec or something like that. Like shows like that that are just like really easy to rewatch and digest. And then I have shows that like are incredible, like Band of Brothers or the Game of Thrones or you know stuff like that I have only seen once, but like in terms of quality level, like they're on a completely different level, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And I just don't watch a whole lot of TV. So I find myself rewatching shit I've seen a million times over starting something new, you know. Especially
That's
in the
totally fair.
streaming age where it's just like you spend more time trying
More
to find
than
something to
you'll ever,
watch
yeah.
than you'll actually than turning something on, you know. Like I've
very
had
much
Netflix
so.
for years, and I just have a my list or a queue of like 40 shows. I'm like, I'm never watching these shits. But
I
they stay on
totally
my
get
list.
that.
You know what I mean? Like, some things, you know, just like you just missed the boat on, and it's just like I don't know, I can't. Like, I never watched Breaking Bad, but the idea of like watching 5 seasons of it just to catch up to a zeitgeist that's long gone, like, is not worth it to me, you know. Like TV's a huge commitment, so.
Wow. Do you,
Yeah.
do you want me to go, or do you have them? Wait.
Okay, I'll go ahead. I'll give it a shot. Okay, so
Okay.
the first one I wrote down because I watch it like I'll watch the entire series like I don't know 5 or 6 times like a year, like a lot, a flippin' ton, and that show's American Dad.
Yeah.
Like I just rewatch the crap out of it. Like it's my background.
Yeah.
It's always.
Roger's like your spirit animal. So
Roger is my spirit animal. You're absolutely right. Like Roger is everything that I wish I dared to be.
Yeah.
On so many levels, but I'm an adult and a teacher, so
yeah, Roger is that devil on your shoulder. Like he's.
I do find lots of time in my day though to like slip his quotes in though. And that works. That's fine. That's enough for me for now. Let's see. Secondly, I have Steven Universe down. It's more of a kiddie show, but like, it's a good time. It's whimsical. It's fun. It's got good music. Like, and it's just good for you. So we go with that. I did put Game of Thrones on there. Similar to Ethan though, like I'm not likely to really dive too deep into it ever again. But like. The time I spent watching it and theorizing and even reading the books after I started watching it, Ethan was the one who introduced me to that. I used to come over all the time and we would sit and watch because you all had the seasons, just the few that were out. So that's affected me a lot. So I really like that. Next I have to go with Archer.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude!
Another like
that one.
Another just like
yeah,
funny like adult show, but like one, it's very smart sometimes, but also it's very dumb sometimes.
It's a dumb show for smart people.
That's a good.
Like 1,000%. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of why it's funny is you have to be of a certain mind to like
it makes lots of references.
It's very referential. Yeah. Like just like Rick and Morty is the same way. Yeah. Rick and Morty is absurd and dumb, but all of the writing is so over the top, either philosophical or referential to either itself or just culture in general. And it's way more witty about it than say like a South Park, which is very much in your face with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, Archer's brilliant. I've seen that show so many. It's one of those shows that's really easy to rewatch over and over, and all the characters on that show are fantastic. Like
right.
Every single one of them's amazing.
Right. And then for my last one, I was like kind of going back and forth. I was like, what am I missing? Like in the realm of things that I watch, what kind of thing am I missing? And I was like, oh, well, I watch a lot of anime. I should probably put that. And then I had a moment where I hesitated, and I was just like, well, but they said TV show, and I was like, well, that's stupid. They are TV shows. So I was like, no, we're going to do it. And for that, I'm going to put Code Geass as my anime choice for that one. Because, again, I watch it a ton. It's 2 short seasons, but it's very character, political driven, lots of high drama, and just lots of excellent things to take away from it too. So
yeah, if I had an anime pick, I guess it'd be like Dragon Ball, just because that's the only anime that I've seen several times. Like the other one would be Cowboy Bebop, and I've only seen it twice. But like Dragon Ball, like I've watched most of those sagas multiple times. So from watching them as they came out, as a kid, to rewatching them as an adult over and over. So
we have once again circled it back to Dragon Ball. So
yeah, we'll always find a way to plug it. We'll always find a way to put it.
Yes, you guys will.
All right, Chelsea.
All right.
Do you have 5 shows?
I think I do. I mean, I'm sure I'm missing some. It's hard to just come up with just 5, and especially because, yeah, no, I agree. Like, there's shows that I've watched only once, but I've been like, after watching that, I'm like, man, that was a spectacular show or something. But
yeah.
I've watched so many shows over the years, I can't even remember half of them. And it was either good or bad that I just can't remember because it's been a lot. But I think The first one that goes on my list, just because I do have cartoons on my list. I do have kid shows, but they are, in my opinion, fantastic and a good time. One of them is one that I talked about, and no, that didn't make the list. Sorry. Yeah.
Thought for sure that'd be on there.
But it is related to the episode when we talked about our childhood cartoons. That would be X-Men Evolution. I love that show. Yes. I just fun to quote with my sisters. My sisters and I just loved watching it. It's the X-Men. I love the X-Men. It's just, I've watched that show so many times too. So that's one of my go-tos. Now, another one that surprisingly I have not talked about at all on the podcast, and it didn't quite fit with the childhood cartoons because I didn't watch it as a child.
Kim Possible.
That's a good one. Phineas and Ferb.
Damn.
I will stand tall and say that show is fantastic. It is absolutely hilarious. There are just some silly random jokes in there, but there's also some really smart jokes. There's references to like older films, older TV shows. Also, it's incredible that they came up with at least one little song for every single episode. They're just like random things like about aglets. Like, if you don't know what an aglet is, after watching that episode, you sure as heck will know what an aglet is.
There was just a TV or a TikTok about that.
Really?
Where somebody guys like points to one, he's just like what is this? What is this? Nobody knows what this is. And then like the voice of one of the boys, like the voice actor is just like I'm pretty sure me and my brother sang a song about this. They're called aglets. I was just like, oh my god. It was terrific.
Oh, that is so great. Yeah. No, yeah, just funny things like that. There's just random things that are just hilarious. I mean, Perry the Platypus, freaking amazing. Secret Agent. I think that show's just a blast. It's just fun. So then moving on, I think I would go on to something that's not animated at the moment. The Good Place. I thought that was a fantastic show.
I forgot about The Good Place. Oh my gosh, can I have 6 so I can put The Good Place on mine?
Well, I mean, it's not good enough for your top 5. So.
No, it is. It is. I'll take something else off. I'll take I don't know. I'll take something off, but The Good Place is so good. Oh my god, how did I forget about that?
Like, everything as a whole, like, when I initially heard about that show and everything, I was just kind of like, I don't know what the show is. And then even watching at the beginning, but it's just everything, like, the whole journey, like, everything it really delves into, like, it gets really deep and just, it makes you think a lot about stuff. It makes you think about life a lot. At the
very
end.
Existential in a variety of ways, but, like, it's also freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
So
it just, how they are able to combine it so well. It just.
Who's your favorite character?
I mean, how could you not like Chidi?
That's what I was thinking in my... Yeah. I was like, she's gonna say Chidi.
Yep. But no, I mean, and I was surprised. I liked all the characters too. It's just a show with characters that grow on you, that become really likable. And then let's see. Okay, that's only 3 shows. I guess it's hard to pick an anime because I do want to put an anime on there. I think I'll put Psycho-Pass. It's one we talked about in our
Psycho-Pass is
episodes.
A good one. Yeah, it's a good one.
And then to round it out with one more show, I'd have to go with Jericho.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, it was a very short-lived show. It was 2 seasons. It was the whole like post-apocalyptic vibe about like just I don't know, just the whole small town setting and just I just thought it was really well written and just really interesting with the characters, and that they were able to like pretty much tie up the storyline in 2 seasons.
Really?
Or at least at least as best they could have, because I mean I think it probably was canceled, but the way that the story was told, like I felt good after it ended, and I was just like, that was a cool experience. And it wasn't just like a zombie post-apocalyptic show or anything like that. It was dealing with different things. And so I just remember watching that and just thinking, I really like that, and I think more people should watch that show, because I don't think it was, I mean, I even watched it years later after it aired. But
maybe I'll have to watch it at some point.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but I think that's, I remember where I watched it. So I guess that'll be round out my top 5. You all have
Nice.
very eclectic ones.
Good.
Kind of
Great
over the
variety.
As they should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there are so many shows out there. So, okay. Well, that's about our TV shows. Okay, this next question is about a film. What do you think of Empire of the Sun?
It's a pretty random question. It's like a fucking deep cut.
I had to
I
Google
honestly-
that. I was like, "What is that?" And I saw the trailer, and I was like, "I don't know what this is."
Yeah, it's Christian Bale as a child.
I saw that.
That's how old this fucking
That's
movie
what
is.
I saw.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh,
It's
little baby."
Yeah, it's like one of the like I said, deep cut Spielberg films. You know,
Yeah.
that doesn't really have the legacy that a lot of his other stuff does. I personally have never seen it. It's been on the list, but I've never really gotten around to it.
Yeah, I've never seen it either. Maybe it'll have to be a real talk episode at some point.
Oh boy! Oh,
Then we can give more of an opinion on it, because since none of us have ever seen it.
yeah. Whoever wrote this question, in, what are your thoughts on Empire of the Sun?
Yes. Please let us know.
Are you recommending we watch it, or is it something you hate so much that we shouldn't waste our time? So I need to know.
So I'll be awaiting your
Where-
response. We'll check it
Yeah,
out.
where
on
on
social
my
media.
watch list does this need to be? Do I need to move it up? Do I need to shoot it up to the top, or can this sit in the nosebleeds for a while? I need.
I agree. Okay. So we'll move on to the next question, bringing us back to the MCU with this hot take. Why won't the Marvel MCU movies end already? Endgame already happened. ...
Easy. You motherfuckers keep watching it.
Yeah, I was thinking about the question, and I'm like, it's a little bit of a troll question,
Definitely
and
a
I
troll
was-
question.
And I was thinking on it, I'm like, well, really, because it
They're
keeps
profitable.
making tons of money.
They're the most, they're the most. Yeah, they.
Why were there 2 more Star Wars trilogies? And counting.
Doesn't mean they should have happened.
Yeah, but why does
yes.
it continue? But I mean, but as a fan, I'll say, one, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it.
Yeah, see, this is my thing. This
you
is my thing. Is like there's so many people out there that are hating on the MCU, but they still go watch these shits, and they're the same people that are like, oh, I don't. They're the same like Nintendo people. They're like, oh, Nintendo's. They never lower their prices, and they never do this, and I don't like Nintendo. But they still buy all them fucking games. Like, you're the problem. Stop watching these fucking movies, and they'll stop making them. Stop going to the theater 4 times so you can make your YouTube video trolling on it about the movie that you just watched 4 fucking times. Goddamn.
Yeah.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we've, some of us have already expressed opinions, I'm kind of tired of some of the things, but it's more of just deciding that, I can choose what I want to watch. I don't have to choose to watch everything, so
Yeah.
I'm
I
just gonna
chose
choose
I
what
chose
I enjoy.
I chose a long time ago to stop watching them, and it's fine. I'll come back to them later, maybe. I don't know. I don't have any ill will towards the people who make them. I'm just personally done.
Oh no.
I'm tapping out.
Now that they've hit Endgame and they can move on from telling this completed story, really the MCU's now moved into really what comic books themselves are. They offer so many options, and with comic books, you do not have to read everything. Good God, you can't afford to do that. And you don't have enough time in the day to do that either. You choose what you like, and you move on with that. And whenever if you get to an event in the comic case, or in this case, it'll be the next Avengers movie or something. And there's something that you need to know in the movie, they'll tell you. They'll catch you up.
Oh, yeah.
On what you
Very
need.
true.
But
Yeah, you can
as a
Google that,
fan
there'll
though,
be 1,000
this
articles
is
about
also,
hey,
Yes.
also yes.
before you watch
And
this, before you
Yeah.
watch Thor, whatever the fuck, here's the
This is what
17
you should
films
know.
you missed.
Yes.
But as a fan, we're living in such a golden era of being a geek. People wanted just subpar or nerd movies for decades, and we're living in this time of our lives where we have we have quality nerd movies at that, and other projects now to boot. So I don't know.
a lot of the remember the era where your average superhero movie was your Morbius? You know what I mean? Like that was the big film of the year. Your Catwoman's.
Everybody's just waiting for the next Batman movie, basically.
Yeah, your Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer. You know what I mean? Like, remember that? Remember those? Remember the dark years of comic book films?
Ugh.
So, yeah, why, the MCU has become like extremely saturated with the induction of like TV shows. And there's a huge contingent of people who are just like, all right, it's too much. I'm done or whatever. And then there's the other, there's the super fans and shit that are just like, oh my god, more. I love it. I can't, whatever. I would almost rather have it this way than the late 90s, early 2000s, where it's like
everything is just
the
awful.
average. Yeah, the 90% of the comic movies that came out were fucking terrible. And they were always partnered with like a fucking terrible game that went along with it or whatever. Like, so yeah, I mean, why I personally don't give a shit what goes on in the MCU anymore. Like, for the most part, they're definitely a hell of a lot better than what we used to get from the comic book space. So I'll leave it at that.
True. Well, on that point, we'll move on to, this is our second to last question for this episode. So, have you watched Ozark? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Nope.
Now, I have not either, and I believe the final season just came out and it's on Netflix.
I don't really get into like crime dramas, crime procedurals, anything that's just like, oh, I'm a drug dealer with like a gray morality or whatever the fuck. Like, those shows don't interest me at all too much. So, and Ozark is just like, I mean, shit, man, I live by the Ozarks. I know these kind of people. Like, I don't need to watch a fucking show about this. Like, I know who's making meth and who's doing this shit and whatnot. And, like, it's our backyard. So, I don't know. Shows like that are just, there's gotta be like a real, like, good fucking hook or like powerhouse acting or something, or I don't know, to like make me want to watch it. And I've heard a lot of good things about Ozark, and I know it's got some acclaim and whatnot, but I don't watch a lot of TV, so the things that I do watch either have IP value to me, like Star Wars or some shit, or it's just something that's just like, just catches my eye, that's something like super new or unique or different, or you know what I mean, whatever. Because like I said, it's hard to commit to a show, you know. It's a long-term relationship. So I like movies. They're one-night stands, you know. So that's all we need out of it.
Yeah. I've thought about watching Ozark. I just haven't gotten around to it. It's just one of those shows that's also like on my Netflix queue. But I also feel a little bit similarly. I don't really like watching drug type shows or anything like that. That's the same reason I've never actually watched Breaking Bad. That type of stuff doesn't interest me, but I've also have always been curious about it because they've gotten so much acclaim. So I don't know, as it stands, I'm probably not going to watch it, but I'll let you guys know.
Hell, the only reason I wanted to watch Breaking Bad is because I love Bryan Cranston, and after I read his memoir where he talked a lot about the making of it, and I found out that it was shot on film. Like, a lot of those reasons why I want to watch it, and it was never like the core concept of like a high school teacher with cancer turning into the fucking Godfather or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, the Heisen monster or whatever. Yeah, same with the Empire of the Sun guy or girl, whoever wrote in, have you watched Ozark? Do you like Ozark? Tell me why I need to watch this show. Tell me why I need to watch it next instead of whatever the fuck I'm watching. Why should I watch this instead of Kenobi?
Oh boy.
Does Ozark have little Leia in it? I need to know that.
I mean, you guys, do these like backwood hillbillies have lightsabers? Like, what do we got? What do we?
I mean, it does have Jason Bateman. There's that.
Yeah. See, does Jason Bateman have the Force? What are we doing here? That's what I need to know.
Yeah. So wait, I'm guessing you haven't watched it.
I haven't either, and I feel kind of bad because like we live so close to that area.
Yeah, I mean,
and I've never been like, oh, I should watch that.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Yes.
Like I see those kinds of people at the grocery store. I don't need to go home and watch a show about them. Not when I can watch fucking Jedi and shit fighting each other. Can't see that at the grocery store.
Lightsabers, yes. Oh man. Okay, you guys ready to move on to our final question? Final question. This is a big one. Who is your favorite director and why?
I'll go first. I'll deflate my balloon first. I don't really have a favorite director, because I don't have that kind of relationship with film, I guess. Like I have directors that I like, but it's not from like an artistic point of view. It's just I like all of these movies and they're done by the same director, and that's about as deep as it goes.
Yeah, it's like, wow, that's very serendipity.
Yeah, well, it's I like Tim Burton, which I know is a very probably a meh answer for that, but
it used to be cool.
Yeah. I really
your
love.
Opinion, that's
I
okay.
love the dark. The dark way he does things. His art directions are always just like, what was he thinking? I am in love with this.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that, like just, it's very whimsical, like heat of the moment stuff.
Speaking of Burton, I've always, like him or not, I've always respected a director that has a known style. You know what I mean? Like you can just, even if you don't know who it is, you can just watch a film and be like, oh shit, like this is this guy's film. You know what I mean? Like, and there's directors that are like that I really like, and then there's directors that have that are meh to whatever. Like Tim Burton's like that with me. I like a lot of his films, but a lot of his films are awful. So he's just kind of, I respected the game, I guess. Like I respected the craft, but it's like I'm not gonna. Your name doesn't carry weight for me to watch that film. Like if it's like, oh, a Tim Burton film is on the trailer, it's not an automatic, oh, I gotta see this. It's more just like, all right, what we gotta check this thing out first. And Wes Anderson is like that too. He has a very known style, and sometimes it works for me, and other times I fall asleep in the movie. So, but I respect the fact that he has a style. Like, kudos, like good for him. Like, it works.
Wow. Do you want me to talk about my favorite, maybe?
It's hard for me to think of. Same with like favorite film. Yeah. It's hard for me. I have directors that their name does carry weight, and it's one of those things where it's like, if their name pops up as part of the project, it's a pretty solid certainty that I'm going to watch it. Like I've pretty much been that way with like, and a lot of these answers are like super, they're pretty household names, or they're like cliche in like the film world or whatever, but like stuff like Scorsese, like I pretty much watch anything he makes. I really like Christopher Nolan. I really like Tarantino. I always pronounce his name wrong because he's like French Canadian, but Denis Villeneuve, I don't know, guy did like Arrival and Dune and Sicario and stuff like that. Like, I've liked everything he's ever made, and whatever he does, I'm going to watch it. Del Toro's kind of the same way. Guillermo del Toro, I really like all of his stuff. So yeah, I don't know if I have I guess the closest one to a favorite, like out of all those directors, I track this one's next project the most, and that would probably be Christopher Nolan, just because you never know what the fuck this guy's doing. So, and I really geek out on less about his film's like story and more just like how he made it, because I like that's the aspect of film that I like the most is what, like the actual technical aspect of it, and he may be the most technical director that's still doing it the way he does it. So it's like it's cool for me to like see how he pulls off stuff and how he manages all these crazy effects practically instead of, you know, CG, and like how he still shoots on film and stuff like that. Like that shit like interests me more than just like, oh, what's the protagonist doing? Like that's not why I'm watching his films. It's more just like I want to watch how it's made. Like I'd rather just be on a set, like work for him, and then just never watch the movie. You know. But the only way I can engage with how he's like doing the stuff is by just like watching the film and just being like, whoa, that's fucking cool. Like how he did that's awesome. I don't know why it happened in the film, but the you know, I just saw a thing on Twitter actually. It was I think it was like a college or something somewhere. They did a study and they came up with the top 20 most confusing films based on just like search results for the film. And like 5 of Christopher Nolan's films were on that top 20. So I'm just like, damn.
Wow.
A lot of people are confused by this man's work. So, but yeah. So if I had to pick one, I guess it'd be Christopher Nolan. Sure.
Okay. Yeah. This question, there were 2 directors that immediately came to mind for me. One of them is a newer one who I've really come to appreciate his style. I have not seen all of his films, and I'll just mention him as my, you know, honorable mention.
Your runner-up?
Yes, would be David Fincher.
Yeah.
I really appreciate his meticulous style, his storytelling, just the way he sets up the frame, just everything that I've like watched lots of behind the scenes on like the making of his films. I've watched him like on the sidelines direct a film that was filmed where we went to school, and I've also listened to him talk about his processes coming to my school and everything. But it's just, he's a really interesting director and has a really interesting take. So he's my runner-up. Now, this director, I was like, oh, this is a dumb moment. I've seen every single one of his films, and I love his style. I love his art. It's an animated director. I love animation, so it is no surprise. It is the master himself, Miyazaki. Mr.
Nice.
Miyazaki.
Oh,
yes.
shit. It's not
Nice.
coming.
Yes.
The
What
right
the fuck are you talking about? I thought you were gonna name off some like Pixar director or some shit. I was like,
No.
I should have saw that coming. Makes sense.
Yeah. Oh man, I just love his films. They're just so beautiful. Everything coming together, the storytelling, just
That food looks damn good in a lot of them. I'll tell you that.
Yes,
oh my
it does.
gosh.
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn, give me that ramen right now. What are we doing?
The whimsical nature, just everything, just all the stories from Spirited Away to Howl's Moving Castle to even The Wind Rises. There's just all kinds of stories right there, and just I love them.
We have to do an episode on this. There's just so much to talk about with Miyazaki.
Oh yes, definitely. So
What a tease.
listeners, you'll have to check that out sometime soon.
If it happens, you know, we're just spitballing here. We're just spitballing.
Yes. Well, with that tease, I think that'll probably do it for our episode, for our special 1-year anniversary Q&A. Thanks again to our listeners for sending in your questions. And like I mentioned at the top of the show, feel free to continue sending us questions. If listening to this episode sparked some other questions you had in mind, send them to us. And when we get enough questions, maybe we'll do an episode like this again. And, you know, be sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen to this podcast. Share it with a friend. You could also follow us on social media. Again, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Demastered. And feel free to send us an email if you have suggestions for any episodes or any types of topics or anything that you want us to do in the future. We'd love to hear from you. Send us an email at demasteredpodcast@gmail.com. And as I mentioned at the top of the show as well, going forward, our podcast is changing it up a little bit, so our release dates will be on Tuesdays every other week. So like I said, thanks again for listening to this week's episode, and we look forward to having you join us for the next one. Yes.
Thanks, everybody.